We'll be reading Veratrum album from Leaders in Homeopathic Therapeutics by E.B. Nash. Veratrum album. Collapse. It's a great remedy for collapse with general coldness and cold sweat, especially on the forehead. Hippocratic face. Mania with desire to cut and tear things. With lewdness, lascivious talk, religious, amorous. The different types of manias: lewdness, lascivious talk, religious, amorous mania, desire to cut. Disposed to silence, but if irritated, gets mad. Scolds, calls names, and talks of faults of others. Rice water stools, profuse, exhausting cramps and calves, coldness, collapse. Rheumatic affections in damp weather, drives patient out of bed. The pains are maddening, driving the patient to delirium. Copiousness of discharges, stools, vomiting, urine, saliva, sweat, profuse discharges. Craving for acids or refreshing things. Here is a remedy that has a characteristic cold sweat on the forehead. It makes no difference whether if it's cholera infantum, pneumonia, asthma, typhoid fever or constipation. If this symptom is prominently present and the patient is in anything like a faint, collapse or greatly prostrated condition. Veratrum album is the first remedy to think of. It is one of Hahnemann's trio of medicine for Asiatic cholera. Camphor and cuprum being the other two. And today his indication for its use stand as true as when he first gave them to the profession. So, trio of cholera according to Dr. Hahnemann is Veratrum album, camphor and cuprum. And today his indications for its use stand as true as when he first gave them to the profession. It abides the test because it is founded upon the natural law of cure, which is the same yesterday, today and forever. Veratrum album has some very strong mind symptoms. Mania with desire to cut and tear things, especially clothes, with lewdness, lascivious talk and religious, amorous. Here the choice will sometimes have to be made between this remedy and stramonium. They both are very loquacious, both strongly religious, also both at times very violent. But the face of stramonium is generally very violent. The face of stramonium is very red and bloated, while that of Veratrum is likely pale, sunken, Hippocratic, again which is greater weakness with Veratrum. Sometimes the violent form of mania alternates with a disposition of silence, but if irritated gets mad, scolds, calls names and talks of the faults of others. These forms of mania are often consequent upon suppressed menses or purpureal state. They may be acute or become chronic. In either case, we may find cure in Veratrum album. If we were to describe in one word the general condition as near as possible for which this remedy was best, it would be collapse. Let me quote: rapid sinking of forces, complete prostration, cold sweat and cold breath, skin blue, purple, cold, wrinkled, remaining in folds when pinched. Face is Hippocratic, nose is pointed. Whole body icy cold. Cold skin, face cold, back cold. Hands icy cold. Feet and legs icy cold. Icy coldness of surface covered with cold sweat. Tobacco. Cramps in calves. All these are verified symptoms and show to what an extreme degree of collapse a case may come and yet be cured. This condition may be found in rapidly progressing acute cases like cholera, or it may be found in suppressed exanthemata, or again in the course of bronchitis, pneumonia, typhoid, or intermittent fever. No matter where found or in connection with whatever disease, if this collapse is present, especially if the grand keynote, cold sweat on face and forehead, is present, we may give this remedy with full confidence that it will do all that it can be done and much more to the old school of system of stimulation with alcoholics. In choleric diseases, camphor comes nearest to veratrum. But with veratrum, the stools are profuse and like rice water, while they are scanty or entirely absent in camphor. The pains of veratrum are very severe, driving the patient to delirium. It is said to be a good remedy for rheumatism, which is worse in wet weather and drives the patient out of bed, like Ferrum Med. Veratrum is a remedy of wide range because it covers a condition which may be found in so many different diseases.